This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we are going to discuss about automation rules, and we will see what exactly automation rules, why should we go for automation rules in Salesforce, what automation rules that has been given by Salesforce by default, we'll see what is the significance of each and every automation rule, what kind of features we can automate, what we can't automate through those automation rules. And in this automation rules, what is the significance rule of flows? So what exactly a lightning flow? What are the various types of flows that we have? And through the flows, what kind of things that we can automate? And what are the various flow elements that we have? And how can we find the flows based on the DML events or based on scheduled times? We'll see both the mechanisms as well. Now, so let's start with automation rules first. So what exactly an automation rule? What we can do now? Let's see. Come to a small scenario. For example, I have a bank account. I have a bank account. So in my account, I'm having some 20,000 rupees as a balance. I have 20,000 rupees as a balance in my account. Now today, I went to the bank branch. I'm depositing some 5,000 rupees into my account. I'm depositing 5,000 rupees. So as soon as whenever I'm depositing 5,000 rupees, then my balance value will be getting updated automatically. So what will be my balance amount now? 25,000 here. My balance has been updated here from 20,000 to 25,000 here. Then what is the confirmation? How do you know that amount has been credited into your account? We are getting some alerts. Now we are getting some alert notifications, like it may be an email, it may be an SMS alert. With the help of an email alert and an SMS alert, we are getting the notifications. Now tell me who sent these notifications to you? Bank employee? Do we have any separate person in the bank who is keep on sending the notifications to the customers regarding their transactions? No. Then who will do this one? Hmm. Who will do this one? Who will send these notifications to you? Hmm. The bank application itself. Whatever the applications they are using, that application will take care of the responsibility to send the notifications to the customers whenever they're performing any bank transaction. It may be deposit, it may be withdrawal, whatever. Because it's a bank policy. As a bank policy, whenever a customer performs any operation, any transaction, customer should get notified because he is the owner of the account. As the owner, he should be aware of what's going on in his account, what kind of transactions are performed, whether it may be deposit or withdrawal. Everything should be he should be aware of, so that customer should be get notified. In that case, what we can do? Suppose, for example, if I'm sending these notifications manually as a bank employee, for example, I'm a bank employee here. Now he is a customer. He visited the bank branch. He would like to deposit some amount in his account. Now, in this case, I'm collecting the form, I'm collecting the money from the customer, I'm using that bank application. In that bank application, I have entered that account number, I have opened his customer details here. I'm depositing 5,000 rupees in the account. Once the amount has been deposited, then I'm sending the notification here. I'm preparing one email to send the notification to the customer regarding his transaction. I'm preparing one SMS notification through the mobile. I'm sending the SMS to his mobile number. That means, as a bank employee, if I'm performing all the operations manually by my own, what will happen? It will take more time to serve to a single customer itself. That means, as a bank employee, I have to open this customer's bank account. I have to deposit the money. I have to prepare one email. I have to send the email notification. I have to prepare one SMS content. I have to send the SMS. That means, if I'm sending all these operations, if I'm performing all the operations manually by my own, it will take more time. Because of that, other customer has to wait in the queue for a long time. But customers may not be having that much of patience to wait in the queue for a long time because they may be busy with their work. They may be busy with their office work also, personal work also. In this case, instead of doing all the operations manually by my own, some operations I will do, remaining operations I would like to make it hand over to my Salesforce application itself. I want to hand over to my system itself, so my system will take care of. Just I will deposit the money into that account. That's it. The rest of the things should be taken care by my system itself. That means my application itself. System in the sense the application which we are using to automate your business data. That means your customers' data, banking data. That means what? Instead of performing all the operations manually by our own, we can make certain things automated so that we can reduce the manual work. If I'm reducing the manual work, then we can able to serve to more number of customers very fastly. That too, we can utilize the resources very, very efficiently as well. So for that reason, as part of Salesforce, they have given a feature called as automation rules. Automation rules. Automation rules are nothing but the features which are used to automate certain things inside our organization. Instead of performing all the operations as part of your organization policies, no need to perform all the operations manually by our own. Some operations we can perform, remaining operations we can make it hand over to my application itself. My application will take care of performing those operations. For that reason, we can use the help of automation rules. Now, these automation rules are also called as OOTB features. These are also called as OOTB features. That means out of the box features. These are also called as out of the box features in Salesforce. Now, so now here in this case, now tell me, can you give me some automation features which you are aware of in Salesforce? As part of configuration, we have few automation features are available. Can you give me some automation feature names? Hmm. Hmm. Email templates we are preparing. Hmm. We have roll-up summary. So now tell me, roll-up summary operations will be doing by whom? Salesforce itself. We are not doing that operation manually here. That will be taken care by my system itself. Formulas are executing automatically here. Validations will execute automatically. Sharing rules executing automatically. Assignment rules executing automatically. That means so many features are available in Salesforce which are comes under out of the box features, which are used to automate certain things inside my organization. Now, so in this case, as part of your organization, whenever we are receiving any notifications regarding your bank transaction also, whenever a customer has been created a case, For example, as soon as a customer has raised a case, then immediately customer will be getting one SMS notification, one email notification to indicate, dear customer, your case record has been created successfully. This is the case number, this is the case status. One of our service person will contact you shortly, so that we can send some automated notifications. So these notifications also we are not sending manually. Just as an employee, we are creating the case. That's it. Sending the notifications will be taken care by the system itself. That means I want to perform some operations manually. Remaining operations, I would like to make it automated with the help of ready-made automation tools. Okay, now let's see. Come to one more scenario. For example, assume that I have a bank account. Almost 6 years back, I have created a bank account. From there, I'm using this bank account to do the transactions. My account is in active status. My account is in active status. That means it is in operating state. Suppose, for example, if you are not performing any bank transaction in the last 6 months, what will happen? Account will be deactivated. That means my active status will be assigning as no. That means my card is nothing but my account is not in active status, so we can't perform any bank transaction. My account will be moving into non-operating state. Okay, now tell me here in this case, when coming to my banking organization, we have some millions of customers are available. The customers are using our banking services. Now tell me, how can we verify whether this customer is using this account since last 6 months or not? How to cross check that? Will you verify manually each and every customer's account? No. I have some millions of customers are available who are utilizing our banking services. Then how can we cross check each and every account whether they are using the account since last 6 months or not? So that we can make them deactivated. So we can't cross check that. For that one, we can able to configure this kind of features through automation tools. We can perform this operation through automation tools itself. Now, for example, assume that I'm having an insurance policy. I'm having this insurance policy. Now, currently, my policy status is in force. In force means the policy is currently in active status. In force status means the policy is in currently in active status here. Now, suppose for example, assume that December 1st was my premium date. Okay, December 1st was my premium date. Now, I did not make the payment on date over here. Now, for example, today is January 1st. 1 month is over. If I'm not making the premium payment of my policy account since last 1 month, automatically my policy status will be changing to lapsed. Okay, my policy will be inactive status here, non-operating status here. Because I did not make the payment for my policy premium, so my policy will be going into lapsed state. So that here, so now my policy is not in active status, even though if I make some accident, I can't claim that because my policy is not in active status over here. We can't raise any claims now. So now in this case, what happened? Instead of updating this status as lapse for the policies manually, we can make the things automated also. Because we are having some millions of customers who are using our insurance policies. From that one, how can we cross check that? How many people did not make the payment, okay, premium payment, okay, in the last 1 month? We can't cross check each and every customer's details manually. It will be taking more time. So in this case, instead of doing this kind of work manually, we can make certain things automated with the help of automation tools. Now, as part of Salesforce, we have three types of automation tools are available. First one, workflow rules. Second one, process builder. Third one, lightning flows. Okay, lightning flows. We have three automation tools are available in Salesforce: workflow rules, process builder, and then lightning flows. These are also called as simply flow or flow builder, anything. Now, these are the three types of automation tools are available in Salesforce. Then what exactly workflow rule, what we can do, what actions we can perform through workflow rules, and what limitations are available, we'll see first. Then we'll see the concept of process builder, which is an advanced of workflow. And then in process builder also we'll see what kind of limitations are available and how to overcome them with the help of an advanced feature that is lightning flow or flow builder or simply flows. Then what type of flows are available? We'll see each and every feature one by one with practical. Okay. Now, now in this case here, make a note of this one: automation tools. Automation tools. Salesforce provides a collection of out of the box features, out of the box features as part of Salesforce CRM, which are used to automate, which are used to automate certain operations inside the organization, which are used to automate certain operations inside the organization. That is, instead of performing all the operations manually as part of organization policies, we can perform certain operations and the remaining operations we can make it automated. Remaining operations we can make it automated by using automation tools. Automation tools. By using automation rules, we can reduce the manual work, and we can increase the productivity. We can increase the productivity and we can utilize the resources very efficiently. Now, Salesforce provides the below three automation rules. First one, workflow rules. Second one, process builder. Third one, lightning flows. These are also called as simply flows. Note. All the automation rules will get fired automatically based on the specified DML event. Based on the specified DML event, these automation rules will get fired.
Excuse me, Feroz.
Yes, tell me.
I have one doubt. In last section, you teach me the merge field session.
Right, right.
Uh, I practiced that. The first example in send, test, and verify merge field is there, right? If
Mhm.
I choose that field in HRM, hiring manager concept, I choose it. I choose the person too, but the mail is not sending to the email. It's displaying the mail template itself. What mistake I did?
Okay, we'll see. Let me check it out. After the completion of the class, we'll see.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We need to look into your code.
Okay.
Don't run. Why? Done with this? Now, let's see. So, let's see the workflow rules first. What exactly a workflow rule and what we can do with the help of workflow rules. What kind of actions that we can perform through with the help of workflow rules and what limitations are available in workflow rules we'll see first. Then we'll move forward to process builder and then we'll move forward to lighting flows. Okay, now. So basically, workflow rules are a category of automation rules. These are also a category of automation rules which are used to automate certain things inside your organization. So, in order to automate certain business processes inside the organization, we can use the help of workflow rules. Now, so by using these workflow rules, we can avoid some manual work. Instead of performing the operations manually by our own, we can perform only certain operations. Remaining operations we can automate it with the help of workflow rules. Now, so in this case, workflow rules are always firing based on DML events. Workflow rules are firing on DML events. DML events means what? Upon performing the DML operations. Upon performing DML operations on your Salesforce object records, like upon inserting the records, upon updating the records, workflows will get fired. And along with that, workflows are having the capability that they can able to fire based on time periods also. So whatever the specified time interval we have specified based on the periodical intervals also, it can fire. That possibility is available here. Now, so in this case, workflows are having the capability to fire based on DML events and based on some specific time period as well. Now, so now that's what here, as part of this workflow rules, we have two categories of workflow rules are available here. Criteria based and the second one time based. Based on certain criteria, they will get fired. Based on the time period also, they can fire. These are called as time triggers. Okay, these are called as time triggers. Based on the specified time period, these will be getting triggered out automatically. They will get fired automatically to perform certain operations. Now, so in this case, when coming to the workflow rules are used to automate certain business processes inside the organization, which will get fired automatically based on some DML events. Based on some DML events, these workflow rules will be getting fired, which can perform certain operations. Now, when this workflow rule will fire, workflow rules are always firing on after insert, after update. Once the record has been inserted successfully, my workflow rule will get filed. Once the record has been updated successfully, my workflow rule will get filed. So after insert and after updating the record, workflow rules will get filed. But workflow rules can't fire on before. That means before inserting the record, I want to do some operation, but workflow won't support. Before updating the record, I want to perform certain operation, workflow won't support. Upon deletion, workflows can't fire. Workflows are always firing on after insertion, after updation. Only in these two cases, workflow will fire, but they can't fire on before performing the operations. There is no such possibility. So in this case, whenever we are creating a workflow rule, each workflow rule should be associated with an object. Each workflow rule should be associated with an object. That means whenever I'm going to be inserting a record, workflow will fire. In this case here, in my object I'm having my Salesforce org, I have so many objects are available, including standard, including custom. It may be independent, it may be related objects also, whatever it might be. I have so many objects are available inside my organization. My workflow can fire on after inserting the record. In which object here? Upon inserting the record, workflow will fire. Then fine, okay. But in which object if I am inserting the record, workflow will fire? The workflow will fire upon inserting the record in account object, or contact object, or lead object, or hiring manager object, or any other custom object. When it will fire? That we need to indicate. Upon creating the workflow rule, each workflow rule should be associated with an object. That means whenever I'm creating the workflow rule, we have to select an object. So to indicate in this particular object, upon inserting the records inside this object, my workflow rule should get fired automatically. To indicate that we are going to be selecting the object name. But on a single object, we can create multiple workflow rules also. So each workflow rule should be associated with one object, but on a single object, we can create multiple workflow rules also. That facility is available here. Now, so in this case, by using these workflow rules, what kind of operations that we can do? Workflows allows us to perform only 4 operations. Okay, workflow supports only 4 operations. First one, we can perform email alerts. Okay, email alerts. Second one, we can perform field updates. We can update the fields. Third one, we can assign a new task to the user. We can assign a new task to the user. Fourth one, we can send an XML based outbound message to the external system. These are the 4 operations over here. Okay, workflow will support only 4 operations we can automate. Remaining it won't support. Only 4 operations will be supporting by workflow rule. First operation is through workflow rule, we can fire email alerts. That means we can send the email notifications to the people automatically based on some DML events. Like once a record has been inserted, we can send the email notification. Once a record has been created, updated, we can send the notification. That means we can send the email notifications to the people with the required subject and the content by using a pre-existing email template. So, in order to send the email notification to the people through workflow rule, we need a pre-existing email template which contains the email subject and the email content which you would like to deliver to the people. So, what subject you want to deliver, what content you want to deliver, that we have to specify inside the email template. To whom you want to deliver, that we can decide through workflow rule at runtime. That facility is available here. So in this case, with the help of this workflow rule, the first action is through workflow rules, we can send an email notification to one or more number of users with a pre-existing email template. That is the first operation that we can do with the help of workflow rules. Second operation, through workflow rules, we can update a field value also. Like for example, assume that I'm having a bank account. So in my bank account, I'm performing the transaction since last 3 years. But since last 6 months, I did not perform even a single transaction also in my account. That too, I'm not maintaining any minimum balance also in my account. Then what will happen in this case? My account will be deactivated. So how they will deactivate your account? What these people will do? In order to indicate whether account is active or not, they are maintaining a small field called as active status field. Okay, there is a small active status field they are maintaining, like as a checkbox field here, which will be indicating that whether account is in active status or not. If the checkbox is selected, account will be in active status. If the checkbox is unselected, this will be inactive status. If it is inactive status, we can't perform any bank transactions. Now, in this case here, whenever if the customer is not using the account since last 6 months, then they can able to update that actual status field value as false. That means they're deactivating the account. That means they're updating the field value over here. In that case, if you want to update the field value, then we can use the help of workflow rules. By using this workflow rules, we can update the field value also. Like we can able to make that customer to be deactivated also. We can make the credit card deactivated also. Or we can make the card activated also. We can make the policy inactive also here. That means we are updating the field values over there. In order to update a field value, we can use the help of workflow rules. Now, in this case, through these workflow rules, we can add an action to update a field value. So each action will update only one field value inside your object, not more than that, by using workflow rules. Through an action, we can able to update only one field value, not multiple. And in this case, we can raise a question. Sir, can I add multiple actions inside the workflow rule? Yes, we can add multiple actions also. How many? A workflow rule can have maximum of 40 actions, not more than that. A workflow rule can have maximum of 40 actions. If each action is updating one field value, then 40 actions will update how many field values? 40 field values. Suppose in my object I am having 200 fields are available. Out of this 200 fields, 60 fields I want to update, 60. Now tell me, will the workflow will support in that case? No, because workflow will be allowing us to add only 40 actions. Through the 40 actions, we can update only 40 fields, but my requirement is I want to update 60 fields. Workflow will not support. These are few limitations are available. So each workflow rule can have maximum of 40 actions, not more than that. That is a limitation given by Salesforce. Okay. Now, this is the second operation. Through workflow rules, we can update the field values inside your object also. That is the second operation. Third one. With the help of these workflow rules, we can assign a new task to the user. Basically, task is used for what? To add some reminders, to add some alerts. Like inside our mobiles, we are adding some alarms in order to wake up in the morning over here. Regarding your credit card bill also, we are adding some alarms inside our mobiles here. Now, in this kind of situation, instead of adding this kind of reminders and the alarms in your mobile, we can add some reminders inside your Salesforce application itself with the help of a feature called as activities. As part of activities, we can add two kinds of alarms over here. First one, task. Second one, event. Okay, task and the event both are comes under activities part, which are used to add some reminders and the alarms inside your Salesforce org. Now, in this case, by using this workflow rule, we can assign a new task to the user. We can assign a new reminder to the user regarding a particular operation. To remind to the people, we can able to add some reminders also over here. That facility is available. This is the third operation. The fourth action is by using this workflow rule. Okay, by using this workflow rule, we can send an XML based SOAP message to the third party system. Whenever if you want to integrate with the third party systems from Salesforce to SAP or Salesforce to mainframe, Salesforce to Java, Salesforce to .NET or any external system, if you want to pass the data from our Salesforce organization to a third party system, we can use the help of an action called as outbound messaging action. By using outbound messaging action. Outbound means what? Outgoing, simply. Outgoing means what? Call is going from my mobile to another mobile. Then it will be called as outgoing for me. If the call is coming to my mobile, then it will be incoming. Like the similar way here also, upon managing the data, we have outbound, inbound. Two features are available over here. Outbound means what? Whenever the data is going from my application to a third party application, then it is outbound. If the data is coming into my application or my system, then it will be inbound services over here. Now, in this case, by using this workflow rules, we can send an outbound message to the third party system, which will be in XML based format. Why XML based format? Because XML is a cross platform communication language. It's a universal language which can be understandable by all the programming languages, all the technologies, all the databases, all the operating systems, all the platforms. So that if you want to integrate the two systems here, we need a common language. Based on the common language only, we can make two applications can talk to each other. Two applications can exchange the data. Two applications can pass the data from one application to another application. In this case, in order to pass the data between the two applications, we are using a common language that is called as XML. So XML is a cross-platform communication language which can be understandable by all the programming languages as well. So that here we can pass the data from Salesforce to the third-party system in the form of XML. So that here these are the four operations we can do with the help of workflow rules. So workflow rules allows us to perform only four actions. First one, we can send the email alerts. Second one, we can update the field inside the object. Third one, we can assign a new task to the user. Fourth one, we can send an outbound message to that external system over here. These are the four actions workflow will support. Okay, understood the concept here? Now, so previously, almost 5 to 6 years back, most of the automations we are doing through with the help of workflows. At that time, we don't have lightning flows. We don't have lightning flows almost 6 years back. We have only workflow rules. Workflow rules are very, very popular at that time. But in workflows, we are able to do only four actions here. To overcome that, to make more number of actions automated, Salesforce people introduce one more extension, that is Process Builder. In Process Builder also they have identified some limitations, so that they have introduced lightning flows. Okay, so the flows is the advanced features nowadays in Salesforce are. Now, so workflows are already disabled by Salesforce. Workflows are no more right now. But if you are working in a project here, now here you can raise a question. Sir, if workflow feature is not available in Salesforce right now, then why we are discussing this workflow rules concept here? Now, not available means what? From now onwards, whatever the Salesforce accounts we are going to create, in that one, we can't create the workflow rules. But already, so many people are using Salesforce CRM since almost 2000, almost 23 years. During that time, workflows is the most popular. So many people has created so many automation rules through workflow rules at that time. Those will be working as it is. But from now onwards, we can't create any more new workflow rules. So whatever the project we have allocated to work, in that project, if they are already having some workflow rules, we need to support them. So we should be aware of what is workflow rule. Okay, so in the interview point of view also, still they're asking the question, what is workflow, what is process builder, what is lightning flow? What is the difference between these three over here? Sometimes they will be giving a requirement, I want to perform this operation over here. Now please suggest me which one is the best automation feature, either workflow or process builder or flow. We need to decide based on that requirement here. So still, okay, whatever the existing projects are available, they're continuing with the workflow rules as it is. Now slowly they're migrating these workflow rules to flows. Okay, so that we should be aware of all. But I'm not going to the practical concept here. I'm giving the theoretical concept. I will give the notes also, and then practical will see the lightning flows concept here because that is the most advanced one. Okay, now make a note of this one. Workflow rules. Workflow rules are used to automate certain business processes inside the organization. Workflow rules are used to automate certain business processes inside the organization. This, instead of performing all the operations manually, we can make certain operations to be get automated through workflow rules. Workflow rules will get fired automatically based on the DML events. Based on the DML events. Now, by using workflow rules, we can automate the below four actions. By using workflow rules, we can automate the below four actions. First one, email alerts. Now, by using this action, we can send an email alert to one or more users with the required subject and content by using a pre-existing email template. By using this email alerts action, we can send an email alert or the email notification to one or more number of users, not only to the single person. We can add CC copies also upon sending the email notifications. We can send the email alert to one or more users with the required subject and the required content by using a pre-existing email template. Second one, field update action. By using this action, we can update a field value by assigning the new value based on the need. Each field update action allows us to update only one field. Only one field. Each field update action allows us to update only one field. Now, let me give these points. Your workflow rule can have maximum of 40 actions. Okay, 40 actions. That is, we can update maximum of 40 field values through workflow rule. Next, third one, assigning a task. By using this action, we can assign a new task to the user with the required task subject and due date to remind the person or to remind the user regarding an operation. Fourth one, outbound message. By using this action, we can send an XML based SOAP message to the external system regarding the integration. Regarding the integration. These are the four actions we can automate through workflow rules. Note. Each workflow rule should be associated with an object. But an object can have one or more workflow rules. So whenever we are using this workflow rules, in order to automate certain actions, workflow rules will support only these four actions: sending the email alerts, updating the fields, assigning the task, sending that outbound notification. Only these four actions it will support, remaining actions it won't support here. Now, let's see the limitations of workflow rules. First one. So basically, workflow rules are always firing on after insertion, after updation, not before. Okay. Before insertion, I want to fire my workflow, but it won't fire. Before updation, I want to fire, it won't support. So workflow rules are always firing on after insert, after update. Only in these two cases, only it will fire automatically. Now, first one. Workflow rules will always get fired and after insert and after update events. But they can't fire on before performing the operation. This is the first limitation. Workflow rules will always get fired on after insert and after update events, not on before. This is the first one. Now tell me here in this case, by using this workflow rules, what we can do, we are sending some email notifications. We are updating some fields. That means update operation we can do that too limited. Only 40 fields we can update by using a single workflow rule. Now tell me, do we have any action to create a new record in my object through workflow? One object only. Now, so in this case, by using this workflow rule, do we have any possibility to create a new record inside my object? No. Do we have any possibility to delete a record from the object? No. Do we have any possibility to query the record from the database? No. That means workflow rules won't support all the DML operations of our Salesforce objects. It won't support insert operation, that means creating the record. We don't have the option to delete the record. We don't have the option to fetch the record from the object. Just we can update the two, it is limited operations here. We don't have full-fledged update operations. We can't update more number of fields inside the object. We can update maximum 40 fields within an object through workflow rules. Now, so in this case, as part of this workflow rules won't support all the DML operations to be get performed on your Salesforce object records. Just it will support only update operation inside your object records. Now, here in this case, I will give you one more point also here. Now, suppose for example, assume that I'm having an object. So this is for example, my position object. I have a candidate object. Both are my custom objects. Between these two, we have map master detail association. Between these two, we have map the master detail association. Now, for example, with the help of a workflow rule, okay, with the help of a workflow rule, I'm creating a workflow rule, okay, on my position object. On this position object, I'm creating a workflow rule. Through this workflow rule, we can update the fields inside my position object here. How many fields we can update maximum? 40 fields, not more than that. Okay. Now, so now we can update maximum of 40 fields over here. Now, in some cases, my requirement is Through this workflow rule, I want to update the fields from parent to child. I want to update. Not only updating the data within the same object on which the workflow has been configured. Workflow rule has been created on position object. Through this workflow rule, we can update the fields inside this object up to maximum of 40. But through this workflow rule, I want to update the fields in the child object also, but workflow will not support. Okay, workflow will not support here. This is the first limitation here. Workflow won't support. Now, suppose here you can raise a question, sir, is it possible in reverse mechanism? That means on candidate object, I want to create a workflow rule. Through this workflow rule, I want to update the fields inside the position object. It will support. It will support. So through this workflow rules, not only updating the fields inside this a single object, we can perform cross object field updates also. Like for example, when you go to that reports concept, we have discussed about that various types of filters, like field filter, cross filters, row limit filters we have discussed. Cross filters means what? The report will be getting the data from one object, but the condition is applying on child objects over here. That means different objects we are considering. Like the similar way cross object field updates I want to do. I want to update the fields in the cross object. Cross object means different object. That means related object. In that case, parent to child, okay, the field update will not be supporting by workflow. Child to parent, it will support to update the field. That too, if the objects are associated with the master detail association. Suppose if the objects are associating with lookup association, it won't support this operation also. These are the limitations here. In workflow rules, so many constraints are available, so many limitations are available here. Okay, now whenever we are updating the fields by using this workflow rules, workflow will allow us to update the fields in the same object also, and workflow will support cross object field updates also. That too, we can update the fields from child to parent which are associated with the master detail association. If the objects are associated with lookup, okay, workflow field updates will not be supporting over here. If you want to update the fields from parent to child, workflow will not support over here. These are the constraints that we have in workflow rules. Okay, understand the concept here? Now, so in this case, as part of this workflow rules, whenever we are going to be updating the records, these are the limitations that we have. Now, make a note of this one. Workflow rules won't support to perform all the DML operations on the object records. That is, create, delete, fetch, that means select. It won't support here. It will support only update operation. Update operation up to some extent. Up to some extent. Next, we can perform the cross object field updates from parent to child. Sorry. We can perform cross object field updates from child object to parent object, which are associated with master detail association. But we can't perform from parent to child, and it won't support the cross object field updates if the objects are associated with lookup relationship. These are few limitations are available as part of your workflow rules. Now, to overcome these limitations, they have introduced a feature called as process builder. To overcome the above limitations, Salesforce introduced a new enhanced feature, a new extension called as process builder. Done with this? Next. Now, let's see. Done, everyone? Now, if you want to configure any workflow or if you want to see the existing workflow rules available inside my Salesforce org, then how can we see? Let me show you. Just you can go to your Salesforce org. Go to the quick find box, search for the option workflow rules. Okay, workflow rules. Now, just you can go to the workflow rule. Now they're clearly indicating that what a workflow rule is, what kind of actions we can automate through workflow rules. So workflow rules automates the following types of actions, like as we can assigning a task to the user, we can send the email alerts, we can update the fields, we can send the outbound messages to the people over here. Now, so in this case, workflow rules can be get fired on, okay, after insert and after updating that operations over here immediately. Click on continue. Now we can see here new rule. If you want to configure a new rule, that's what here it is indicating. Here there is an option. So try it in flow builder. That means they're redirecting the people to go to that, okay, lightning flow. Don't go to that workflow rules still, because workflow rules are already outdated here. Okay, already outdated. Now these are disabled by Salesforce. So that they're giving the indication here, don't go with these workflow rules, go with that lightning flows over here. For that one, they have given a button called as create in, okay, flow builder. By using flow builder, we can create a flow, because flows are the advanced than workflow rules. Okay. Now, if you want to create a workflow rule, then just you can click on continue with the workflow rule. You will be having the object name, what object on which you want to create the workflow rule. Select the object name, only one object. That's what I told you. Each workflow rule should be associated with an object here. Now click on next. Now we can specify the workflow rule details, when the workflow rule has to be get filed. Created, that means after creating the record. Created and every time it is edited, that means creating after creation, after updation. And then created and any time it is edited, which meets the specified criteria. That means after creating the record every time and upon updating the record, okay, which meets the specified conditions, then we can able to fire. We can check the criteria as well here. Like that we can configure. So workflows are not required here, because workflows are no more right now. Okay, nobody is using workflows. Everybody is going to be using flows. Now, one more thing is, right now when we go to the development, we are using the help of triggers. We are doing some automations through with the help of Apex triggers. After 5 years, you will not have triggers concept in Salesforce. You will not have any triggers concept in Salesforce. Those are triggers that are going to replacing with the help of lightning flows. Lightning flows will be the alternative for triggers. Okay. Now, so slowly they're trying to be reducing the development part over here. So most of the things we can automate through mouse clicks and by using drag and drop options. Now, second one, process builder. So what exactly the process builder, what we can do with the help of process builder, when the process builder will get filed, and what kind of actions we can automate through process builder, and what limitations are available in process builder, we'll see one by one here. Now, so basically process builder is an extension for workflow rules. So through workflow rules, whatever the operations that we are performing, to overcome those limitations of workflow rules, to add some more number of actions to be get automated, Salesforce people introduce an extension that is called as process builder. Now, process builder is a graphical representational tool. Process builder is a graphical representational tool which is used to automate certain actions inside your Salesforce org. Now, if it is a workflow, it's purely navigational process. Keep on, you have to click on next button here. Initially, we have to click on workflow rule button and then select the object name, click on next button, enter the workflow details, click on next button, select the action type, click on next button, specify the action details, click on next button, click on save. Like that, lengthy navigation is available here. But when coming to the process builder, it's purely drag and drop. It's looking like as a flow chart kind of thing. It will look like as a flow chart kind of thing. So process builder is a graphical representational tool which is used to automate certain actions inside the org by using drag and drop options. It's not a navigational process. It's purely a drag and drop based tool which is used to automate certain actions. Now, so now process builder will support most of the actions of workflow. most of the actions of workflow. Why I'm using this word most of the actions is inside the workflow rule, we can do 4 actions: email alerts, field updates, assigning the task, outbound message. By using this a process builder, we can automate the first 3 actions. What are the first 3 actions are available? Email alerts, field update, and then assigning a task. These 3 we can do through process builder, but process builder won't support outbound messaging action here. Okay, process builder won't support outbound messaging action. If we want to send outbound messages compulsorily, we have to go back to workflow rule only here. Process builder won't support. That is a limitation. That's what both workflow process builder still available inside your Salesforce org. So in this case, that's what I'm using that word. Okay, process builder will support most of the actions of workflow rules, but it won't support the outbound messaging action of workflow rules. Now, by using this process builder, we can perform most of the operations of workflow along with some additional actions also. Along with some additional actions also, we can automate through process builder. Now, here also, process builder also will fire always on after insertion, after updation. Like as workflow, process builders are also firing on after insert, after update, not before. So, process builders are not having the capability to fire on before, those are also firing on after insert, after update. Now, by using this process builder, we can automate maximum of 10 actions. Not only 4, 10 actions we can automate through process builder here. Process builder allows us to automate maximum of 10 actions inside your Salesforce org. So the first 3 actions of workflow as usual. Along with that, it is having 7 more additional actions are also available as part of this process builder. Then, what are those actions we can automate through process builder? Now, let's see one by one here. Okay, clear? Now, make a note of this one. Process builder. Process builder is a graphical representational tool. Process builder is a graphical representational tool which is used to automate certain operations or certain actions inside the organization. Inside the organization. By using process builder, we can automate maximum of 10 actions. We can automate maximum of 10 actions. Process builder supports most of the actions of workflow rule, but it won't support the outbound messaging action of workflow rule. Now, each process builder should be associated with an object. But on an object, we can create one or more processes. Now, we can implement the complex operations through process builder. through process builder. Now, always process builder will get fired the actions on after insert and after update. Now the actions. What actions we can automate through process builder, we'll see one by one. By using process builder, we can send an email alert to one or more users inside the organization, more users with the required subject and content by using a pre-existing email template. This is the first action. That means email alert action. Email alert action. Then up to this point, done with this. Now, the first action is email alerts. Second action, creating a record. So by using this create a record action, we can create some new records inside your objects also through process builder. But when you go to the workflow rule, we don't have this kind of action. We don't have any possibility to create a record. We can update them, but we can't create. There is no such kind of actions in workflow. But process builder will be providing an action, create a record. By using this action, we can create a new record inside your Salesforce object. It may be standard object, it may be custom object. It may be independent record, it may be related records also we can create. That facility is available by using create a record action. Okay? Now, now in this case, by using this action, we can create a new record inside the object by passing the values for the required fields through process builder at runtime. Third one, update a record action. In workflow, we have update a field, but here we are having update a record. That means the complete record we can update just by using a single action. There, when you go to the workflow rule, to update a single field, a separate action. To update the second field, second action, third field, third action, fourth field, fourth action, 10th field, 10 action. So 10 actions we need to add. If the number of actions are keep on increasing, it will put some more load on your server also, which will be impacting on the application performance. So to avoid this kind of problems, in process builder, we have an action called as update a record. So the whole record we can able to update just with the help of a single action. So that we no need to update each field separately. The complete record we can update in one shot with the help of update a record action in process builder. So that here we can reduce the number of server trips. So we can reduce the burden on the server. We can increase our application performance as well. Okay. Now, in this case, process builder will supports to update the records in the same object also. We can able to update the records from parent to child also, child to parent also. It may be lookup also, it may be master detail also. Both it will be supporting by process builder. That is the enhancements that we have in process builder. So process builder will supports to update the records in the same object, and it supports cross object field updates also. It may be lookup or master detail associated objects. Okay. Now make a note of this one. By using this action, we can update the record inside the object. By assigning the new values for the required fields. We can perform cross object record updates also from parent to child and vice versa, which are associated with either lookup or master detail association. Which are associated with either lookup or master detail association. Next, fourth action, triggering an Apex. By using this process builder, we can invoke your Apex class methods also. We can invoke Apex class methods. For example, I have prepared an Apex class. In that Apex class, I have prepared a procedure or function. I have written some complex business logic. Now, through this automation rule, through this process builder, I want to invoke this method. Generally, these methods we are executing by visiting execute anonymous window manually. But now, whenever I'm inserting a record inside the object, automatically my process builder should fire, it should invoke the Apex class method automatically, it will perform the operation. In this case, if you want to invoke your Apex class and methods also, then we can go with the help of this option, triggering an Apex action through process builder. But workflow is not having this kind of actions over here. Only process builder will support. Now, by using this action, we can invoke the Apex class and methods to perform the complex operations. Fifth one. Submit for approval. By using this action, we can submit a record for approval process also. Like generally, whenever we are submitting a leave application form, it should be approved by my manager. Whenever I'm submitting a timesheet, it should be approved by my manager. Whenever I'm applying for a loan, it should be approved by the bank manager. So until or unless it is not yet approved, okay, we can't get any loans also, we can't get any leave, we can't get any approvals from the timesheets as well. So in this case, like the similar fashion, if you want to submit a record for the approval, then we can go with the help of this action, submit for approval action here. Okay, now. This action is used to submit a record for the approval by an approver. That means approver means a person or a manager here. Post to charter. Sixth action, post to charter. By using this post to charter action, we can able to post some charter content also. Like whenever we are going to your Facebook account, in the Facebook account we are posting some information. It may be any content related to personal also, it may be related to common information also. We are posting some information. Whenever I'm posting some content, for that content other people will see the content, other people can like that content, they can able to reply on that, they can comment on that, they can follow that content also. So, in order to post that information, whatever the small box that you are using, that is called as a charter feed. That is called as a charter feed. Now, whatever the content we have posted, that content is called as a feed item. That is called as feed item. So now here in this case here, if you want to post some information inside the charter feed inside your Salesforce org, then we can go with the help of a feature called as post to charter. Basically, charter feature is an internal communication messenger inside your Salesforce org. If you are having some multiple users are available inside the org in different locations, if the people wants to communicate with each other, they don't need any communication messenger. Additionally, they can use the help of this charter feature. By using this charter, we can post some message. Other people inside my organization can see that, they can comment on that, they can like that, they can follow that, they can do all these operations. For that one, we are using charter feed features. Now, if you want to post some content inside the charter feed, we are using this action post to charter here. Okay. Now, this action is used to post the required content inside the charter feed. inside the chatter feed. Seventh action, invoking a process or flow. By using this process builder, one process builder can invoke another process builder, like as a chaining mechanism, here. Now, whenever I'm invoking the first process, it will invoke the second process. Second process will invoke the third process. Third process will invoke the fourth process. Like that, we can implement chaining mechanism also by using invoke a process action. So that by using process builder, we can invoke another process or we can invoke a lightning flow also, okay, by using this action. Okay, now this action is used to invoke in another process or a lightning flow, which can perform the remaining actions. Custom notifications. Done? Now, by using this custom notifications, we can send some notification alerts, like as you are assigning a task. Like the similar fashion, we can able to send some custom notifications to the people also by using this okay, custom notifications action. Now, it is used to send the custom notification alerts to the users with the required subject and content. Next one, adding quick actions. Now, by using this action, we can add the quick actions dynamically at runtime, which will perform the complex operations. In order to perform some complex operations, we can add your own quick actions also. Those quick actions we can add dynamically at runtime with the help of process builder. Next one. Adding quick message. Basically, quick message is used to post the content to the user, which includes word processing feature as well. In order to include the word processing feature, if you want to represent some content to the people, then we can use the help of a quick message. We can add a quick message which represents the required content, which includes the word processing feature. These are the 10 actions we can able to automate with the help of process builder. These are the 10 actions. But whenever we are using this a process builder, here also few actions are available here. Like as your workflow, here also few limitations. The first one, process builder also purely supporting on after insert, after update, same like as workflow. But it is not having the capability to fire on before performing the operation. That is the first limitation. Second one, process builder also not supporting all the DML operation. It is supporting insert operation, that means creating the record, updating the record, that means insert, update two operations it is supporting, but it is not supporting delete operation. It is not supporting okay, get operation, that means fetching the data from the object, it won't support. This is the second drawback here. Third one, by using this process builder, we can't send any outbound XML based notifications. That means outbound messages are not possible through process builder over here. These are the three limitations are available in process builder. To overcome these three limitations, Salesforce has given an extension that is called as okay, Lightning Flows. Lightning Flows will support all the actions of workflow, process builder both. In workflow, whatever the operations that we are doing, in process builder, whatever the operations we are doing, all the operations we can do with the help of a single feature that is called as Lightning Flows. Okay. Now, lightning flows are having the capability to fire on both before, after, both. Lightning flow supports all the DML operations here. We can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can search, we can do everything over here. Okay. Now, make a note of this one. Limitations of this. First one. Process builder will always get fired on after insert and after updating the records inside the object. But it won't fire on before performing the operations. Second one, process builder won't support all the DML operations on the object records. It supports only create and update, but it won't support delete and select operations. Third one, process builder won't support the outbound messaging action of workflow rule. These are the three limitations. To overcome the above limitations, we have an extension feature called as Lightning Flows. Then what exactly a lightning flow? What type of flows are available? Okay, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are purely okay concentrating on flows along with practical example also. How to send the email notification to the people automatically. We'll see with the help of flow in tomorrow's session with practical. There, you should be aware of email templates first. Already you know how to prepare email templates. Already we know that. That is a prerequisite option. We have to prepare an email template first, and then we have to prepare one email alert next. Then we have to prepare a flow. How to do that? Okay, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session. I will show you with step-by-step examples as well. Done with this? Now. So tomorrow we'll see the lightning flows. Tomorrow we are having the session at same timings. Okay? Now. So please be available tomorrow. We'll continue with that flows topic here. Now. Thank you.
Hello, sir.